Bless you, Dan. I think Dan's caught something from that squirrel that's running around the studio. Rabies?
I don't think you sneeze if you have rabies.
Maybe you've got a new strain of rabies.
And can humans get rabies?
Yes, they can, and I think you've got it. So if Dan bites me over the course of this show, I will also have rabies, and then we'll bite cameraman Glenn, and everyone will have rabies. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sports Center with Jay and Dan, presented by Tim Hortons. Toronto Raptors, Game 4, Milwaukee Bucks at home. And I guess Barkley was at it again, Dan?
Yeah. He guaranteed a win in Game 3 for the Raptors. How about Game 4?
Guarantee the Bucks not here tonight.
Okay. Kyle Lowry fouled out in Game 3. Tough corner 3 again. Raptors trailing 2-1. Home team has won every game in this series. Lowry made his first 3 shots in this game. His 4th. Step back. Lowry led all scorers with 12 first quarter points. Second quarter. Raptors bench in transition. Fred VanVleet to Norm Powell. Fouled and the basket. Serge Ibaka hanging around the rim.
Kawhi drawing a crowd. 3-0. Serge bounced it to Green. Serge once again. The monster slam.
That's part of a 13-0 Raptors run. 6 straight empty possessions for the Bucks. You saw him call a quick timeout. Just over 5 to play in that. VanVleet finds Powell, creates open space, gives it back, and yes, guy, used with permission. Bench combined for 28 first half points, wraps up 10 at the break. Kawhi Leonard made just 1 field goal in the half, early third. Look at Gasol with it. He gives him the, hey, get over there. Throws down on Giannis Antetokounmpo. Played a career-high 52 minutes in Game 3, laboring after that play.
As he walks now towards center court.
Gasol finds Kawhi again. Kawhi! Another finish. Leonard at 16 points through 3. Drake sitting courtside. Those are his seats. He has something in his teeth. Still in third. Antetokounmpo misses a free throw. And Drake can't get enough of this. Pure hilarity. Let's see who's in attendance. T.O. Like that jacket. Ooh, Padre, I like that sweater. There's insurance salesman Mitch Marner and Donovan Bailey. Fastest man on earth. Fourth quarter, Gasol and VanVleet work the give and go. VanVleet off glass, gets the bounce, has double digits points for the first time since the first round. Gasol had 7 assists, wraps up 17. We didn't show a friend of SportsCenter with Jay and Dan, Max Domi, who's also in attendance. Just over 4 to play.
He'll catch it on the run. Raptors up by 16. Driving kick. Kawhi. Yes, he did. Kawhi Leonard connects.
Kawhi finished with 19 points in 34 minutes. Bucks lose back-to-back games for just the 2nd time this season. Raptors bench combined for 48 points. Just 23 for the Bucks bench, as this series is now tied. 2 games apiece. Home team again has won every single game of the series. Toronto 7-2 at home in this postseason. And the Raptors with a franchise high for players scoring 13-plus points in a playoff game. Kawhi with his lowest point output since Game 3 of Round 1 against Orlando. Gasol, you see, had 17 points. What did Nurse tell him after Game 2?
I didn't have to do a whole lot. You know, I kind of told him, I said, listen, you are a great player, because my definition of a great player is you make all the other people around you better. And there's nobody else I'd want to go out there with than you. And he said, I'm going to play great the next game. So his confidence didn't waver. He's been around a long time. He knows he can play.
You just got to keep fighting. Like I said, don't worry about the misses and just execute. Don't make mistakes on the defensive end. And that's all you could do, you know what I mean? Just leave it all on the floor.
We knew Kawhi was a little bit limited, and we had to come out and be aggressive for him. And the great thing about having him on your team is he still gets all the attention. And we fed off of that, drive, kick, swing. He gets in the lane, kick out, and, that's the benefit of having a superstar like him on the team.
Lowry had a fantastic game 4. Moves out of a tie with Vince Carter and DeMar DeRozan for most 25-plus point, 5-plus assist playoff games in franchise history with 6.
Little ditty about Jack and Leo, 2 basketball guys doing the best that they can.
Yeah, I'll say this about Leo Rautins. He never lost faith. After the Raptors went down 2-0 in Milwaukee, he said this team can come back and win this thing. And they did just that. They have evened up this series. Jack and Leo, how did they do it with Kawhi Leonard looking a little bit exhausted in Game 4?
A few things. Number one, I think their defense here has been magnificent in games 3 and 4. Number one. Number two, I think their bench, 48 points tonight. Serge Ibaka, as we saw Leo in games 4 and 7 against Philadelphia, definitely an X factor. Norm Powell's been awesome the last 3 games. And I'm really happy for Fred VanVleet because he's grinded, and he broke through tonight offensively in terms of his scoring. I think those 2 factors were really, really big.
Well, I think what's happened, the way they're adjusted and the way they're guarding Giannis, okay, they're not over-helping. They're not leaving all kinds of guys open the floor. They're not letting him run in transition to just take over the game. And if you take away their transition, take away Giannis's opportunities to create shots for everybody else, all of a sudden, those 3-point shots aren't there, or they're contested 3-point shots. It's a whole different game for the Bucks right now.
And Milwaukee's a free-flowing team. They don't like to get fouled. I really think the Raptors, they put Giannis on the line 10 times. I'm fine with that because every time that happens, it slows the game down a little bit. And to me, I just think being physical with them and making them go station to station is not how they want to play.
Very quickly, guys, you have both coached, and I would love to get your thoughts on Drake rubbing Nick Nurse's shoulders on the sideline, because we all love Drake. He's been great for the team, but I can't imagine Jack Nicholson rubbing Pat Riley's shoulders during the Showtime Lakers era. I just can't see it happening.
I'll say this, Jack Nicholson would definitely not rub Pat Riley's hair because that hair was perfect, Leo.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Drake, did you see his new plane?
No, I haven't.
He could rub my shoulders all over. If I get a ride on that baby, it's all good.
Guys are the best. We'll see you for Game 5.
You're asking for a free ride, is that?
Hey, yeah.
Donation like donation, free ride on the plane.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
And once again, we'll see you in Game 5.
You sure will, because we have Game 5. It's the Raptors and Bucks. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. It's in Milwaukee, and we have a special Raptors edition of SportsCenter to kick it off at 7:30 Eastern. Again, that's Thursday.
Facing elimination in Game 6, the news spread fast Tuesday morning. Erik Karlsson and Tomas Hertl didn't even make the trip to St. Louis because of injuries, and San Jose's captain Joe Pavelski was a game-time decision after taking a hard hit from Alex Pietrangelo in game number 5. As it turned out, Pavelski also did not play in this elimination game. San Jose actually 4-0 in elimination games, with St. Louis under 2 minutes in. Can't convert on the odd man rush, but Sammy Blaze. Sammy Blaze off David Perron and in, and the Blues have opened the scoring. Vladimir Tarasenko, the only player to register a point in all 5 games this series. And on the power play, yikes. Martin Jones. Not good. Blues up 2-0 after 1. St. Louis Cardinals game was postponed because of a tornado warning. That's Yadier Molina and Adam Wainwright posing for a very, very long time for that photo. Second period. Here come the Sharks. Dylan Gambrell. You know, Dylan Gambrell. I know, Kenny Albert. Dylan Gambrell. Don't know who he is? Scored his first career NHL goal. San Jose's first goal since the third period of Game 4. Then Justin Braun's point shot is stopped. Rebound is cleared away from Colton Parayko. Pierre Maguire said it on the broadcast. Colton Parayko saves a goal there and preserves a 1-goal lead. Luke Schenn's first goal since Game 5 of the first round. Yeah, I'd say he's pumped. Restores that 2-goal lead. Is this Joe Thornton's last game in the National Hockey League? Turns 40 this July, I believe. Hound Dog, maybe you can confirm that. Evander Kane, beautiful chance. Jordan Binnington. He stopped 75 of 77 shots he's faced dating back to Game 4. And that is confirmed. Joe Thornton, 40 this July. 7 minutes remaining. Tyler Bozak. The pass is off. Gustav Nyquist and in. And that'll seal it. Bozy and the Blues are moving on to the Stanley Cup Final after sitting last place in the NHL on January the 3rd. Blues advancing to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in 49 years. They were the team that lost to Bobby Orr's Bruins when Bobby Orr scored that goal and flew through the air. Craig Berube, meanwhile, the 6th coach to lead his team to the final after being a mid-season replacement. And I'm so glad our friend James Duthie brought up Braden Shen, because apparently I called him Luke Shen when I was reading the highlights. So I just want to apologize to Braden Shen because he is his own man. Every game will be at 8 Eastern with the exception of Game 3. All the other games, SportsCenter on with Jay and Dan will be on afterward. Yeah, I know, but I was talking about Saturday. Someone's talking to me, and they should stop talking. This is, as I mentioned, the Blues' first Cup final since 1970. And by the way, in the regular season, these two teams split the 2 meetings.
Slovakia, host country of the World Hockey Championship. And the more I read about the place, the more I like it. Universal health care, free education, one of the longest paid parental leaves in the world. They have an Andy Warhol museum. His parents, they're from there. What does any of this have to do with Canada, USA facing each other at the Worlds? Nothing. But there's nothing wrong with learning something. Canada, by the way, they're rolling. Hadn't lost a game since dropping their opener. Canada has won all 4 games in which they've scored first. Less than 2 minutes in, off a turnover, Mark Stone sets up Pierre-Luc Dubois. Hey, you know what they've both done? They've both gone to the Drager Cafe. 1-0 Canada. Anthony Mantha stands up James Van Riemsdyk, takes it the other way, sets up Kyle Turris, finishes. His 12th point has him 5th in tournament scoring. That's Mantha. Canada, they have an early 2-0 lead. Dylan Larkin, this is tough to watch. Off the faceoff, the point shot hits him directly, directly in the testicle region. Larkin in extreme discomfort. Skates to the bench. He's wincing in pain. He was down on all fours for several minutes, getting seen by the training staff. And as you might expect, he left the game, did not return. Second period, Mantha lays a dangerous-looking hit on Colin White. That was direct contact with the head. He was given 2 and a 10-minute misconduct. Darren Dreger reporting that the IHF will review the hit. A 3-0 Canada in the third. Americans up a man. Patrick Kane feeds JVR down low. Matt Murray stretches across to rob him. Murray 28 saves for the shutout. Canada clinches top spot in the group and will face the Swiss on Thursday. And the U.S. now has to face the juggernaut Russians. Well, Canada play the Swiss. It all gets underway Thursday. Blue Jays took some heat from fans and the media. What did GM Ross Atkins have to say about benching Vladdy Jr.? Oh, it's classic him.
You're watching Jay and Dan. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. back in the Jays lineup after he was rested on holiday Monday, and the entire fan base was very upset. Taking on Boston, 4th inning, Vladdy flared to right. It drops for a single, but Vladdy had rounded first, and whoops, got to get back quickly. Playing his first game since being named American League Player of the Week, he went 2 for 5. Couple batters after that single from Vladdy. It's Rowdy. It's Vladdy to Rowdy. And sorry, Corporation, he just broke a panel on your sign. Snaps a 14-game homerless drought for the Jays slugger, and Toronto's on the board first. Next inning, Rowdy Tellez is back up with a pair on, and that's a 3-run shot. First multi-home run game of his young career.
Still going back, and it's gone.
Vladdy Jr. was on third, and oh yeah, he knew. Very Roberto Alomar. Tellez 5 RBIs by the 5th inning. That will help Marcus Stroman, who came in with by far the worst run support in the entire American League. Trent Thornton, his teammate, is second. Jay's not giving their pitchers run support. That's the point here. Top 6. He induces one of a season-high 3 double plays and picks up his first win in more than a month.
Yanks and O's, Gary Sanchez has 7 home runs off the Orioles in just 8 games. Top 1. Gary. That's now 8 home runs in 9 games against the O's, his 14th of the year. Clint Frazee already with a home run.
Let's see what happens
Top
here.
5, 6-0 Yanks, 2 on, 2 out. Frazee.
Wilkerson going back near the wall.
And gone. That's the 100th home run allowed by the Orioles in just 48 games. That is an MLB record. Yanks destroy them 11-4.
I feel like the Orioles should just forfeit all their remaining games against the Yankees for the entire year.
Look at this. Producer Tim bailed on the ad because it was so bad.
It was truly terrible, and this was an excellent call by producer Tim. And we'd love to get a real sponsor for this walkover clock right here. Look how beautiful it is. We display it for 11 seconds.
It's like
television.
When you see those billboards, you say, hey, this billboard worked, didn't it? You're looking.
That's right. That's right, Dan. So corporations, that could be you. After Charlie Montoyo decided to give Vladdy Jr. the day off on Victoria Day, which was Monday, and Jays fans very upset they couldn't see Vladdy playing, one of the biggest crowds of the year. Ross Atkins, your thoughts?
I think the fact that fans are upset is, I certainly would not prefer that. The one thing that I regret, and all the things that we have talked about with Charlie, I have not talked to him about the importance of Victoria Day. It's Charlie's process, so giving him a lot of tools and resources, and there's a lot of things to factor into those decisions, and we ask a lot for him to factor in. So one of the things that we don't ask him to think about is when fans may or may not be here. Like I said, the one thing that I failed to do was talk to him about the importance of, over the many things that we have talked about and the beautiful things about this country and the important things about Canadian culture, and baseball is a huge part of it. One of the things I failed to talk to him about is the importance of Victoria Day.
He might be the most clueless executive in Toronto sports history, and think about that, how many clueless executives Toronto has had.
He doesn't get the point. It's not the importance of Victoria, because no one really says, oh, it's Victoria Day.
Can't wait to celebrate Queen Victoria. No one cares about
It's a holiday. You're bringing the family to the ballpark.
Everybody's going to the park. There was 26,000, 27,000 people there. They thought they had the day off. They thought they were going to see Vladdy. They didn't see Vladdy. And Ross Atkins' solution to sort of make up for everything is to throw his manager under the bus and blame him. Throw his manager under the bus. Ross Atkins, classic move. Well done, buddy. You're not good in any way. The Blue Jays went on to confirm that Vladdy will be playing on every Canadian holiday for the rest of the year, and we mean every Canadian holiday.
The Toronto Blue Jays would like to apologize for resting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on Victoria Day. We promise Vladdy will be playing on all upcoming Canadian holidays, so make sure to buy a ticket for Canada Day, Labor Day, Father's Day, St. John Baptiste Day, National Spilled Poutine Day, Newfoundland Cod Lovers Day, Geddy Lee Week, Groovy Tuesday. Tell your boss you're sick and go to the ballpark and get caught on the Jumbotron Day. Ham Day. National Saturday on a Monday Day. Nuit Blanche. Australian Christmas. And International Talk Like an Astronaut Day. If it's a holiday, you can rest assured Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be in the lineup.
Now that is a good solution.
Ham Day on Australian Christmas. My two favorites.
I love Ham Day. I always have turkey. I like to switch it up.
According to Ryan Rashad, new Oilers GM Ken Holland could make a head coaching hire as soon as Friday, with Dave Tippett remaining the frontrunner. Tippett recently coached the Yotes in 2016-17. He has a bunch of wins as head coach, over 500. Rashad also reports that Stars assistant coach Todd Nelson is not in the mix.
And that's significant because a lot of Oiler fans wanted Todd Nelson to be the head coach. He's a former coach with the team But Dave Tippett seems like the right choice. He's a veteran guy. He turns teams around fast.
And the Oilers, they cleared house with a few people.
Yeah, a couple other names. J.J. Hebert was the longtime PR guy for the Oilers. He got let go on Tuesday. And the Oilers also announced they parted ways with VP of Player Personnel Dwayne Sutter. I have to be perfectly honest, I had no idea he was part of the Oilers front office. Edmonton had a lot of people in their front office. A lot. According to TSN hockey insider Pierre LeBrun, the Ottawa Senators interviewed Patrick Roy for the team's vacant head coaching position. Roy, one of 7 candidates who has been interviewed for the job. A decision is expected to be made as early as this weekend. Patrick Roy, who was coaching the Avs and was VP of Player Personnel back in from 2013 to 2016. Patrick Roy!
Yeah, he's fiery. Oh, when he left the Habs.
Man, this would be amazing.
Is it the right move, though?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
What you're about to see here, this is very cool.
Yes.
A very touching moment in the Slovakia-Denmark game at the Worlds. 38 minutes into it, the fans chanted a tribute to Pavel Demitra, who wore number 38. He died in a plane crash back in 2011.
Damn, it's sad. What a great guy.
Yeah, Ray Ferraro was right. That was just fantastic. That was amazing.
He died in the locomotive plane crash.
The KHL plane crash that took Brad McCrimmon's life. Should also mention, you know what I'd love to see, because the Blues are back in the Cup final, and he most famously played for the Blues. I'd love to see the Blues fans do that same chant for him. Wouldn't that be great during the Cup final?
We should get that clip to them so they know what to do.
We'll get it to the Sklar brothers. They're big. They got a lot of ties with the Blues. When we come back, Dan, look how excited Nick Nurse is about the Jannies. He's so pumped. He's getting the leg up. I guess they won't be partying in Waskesiu on Tuesday. Actually, they still will. They're always partying there. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, you love Marc Gasol's head nod to get him to go where he wanted him to go.
Xander Bogaerts. Oh, that's a liner. And caught by Jonathan Davis. Oh, I like that blue glove.
Again, box and wraps. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Air ball on the free throw. Just got a bit of the net.
Braves and Giants. Brandon Belt. Okay, he launched that. Ronald Acuna Jr.
Still on the move.
Oh, what a catch at the wall.
Makes the catch.
I think he's going to be a good player, Dan.
Yeah,
I don't
think so.
He took one away, but he definitely took extra bases away.
Phillies and Cubs pitcher Zach Eflin
serves it out to right.
To right, the J. Hay kid.
And he makes the grab.
With the catch.
Braves and Giants, Freddie Freeman. A liner.
And Crawford's got it.
And Crawford.
Crawford
makes the grab. Yep. That was full extension. Needed.
Dodgers raise Justin Turner, my personal favorite Doyer, to right center. Ball gets past Abisail Garcia, past Guillermo Heredia, and all the way to the wall.
Muncy will score, and Turner into third base, 1-0 Dodgers.
Remember, these are the worst and best plays.
Here's Giannis again. Oh, boy.
I like that Drake hoodie, that OVO hoodie. After the Raps' big Game 4 win.
Without question, that's on Canada. We stand on guard for thee. On Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
You know what?
That was pretty great by Shaq. I was told that wasn't good. I thought that was fantastic what Shaq just did there.
That Drake sweater or hoodie, $600.
Perfect. I'll take one. Send it to me. I won't pay for it.
At Giants OTAs, Eli Manning and the 6th overall pick, Daniel Jones, they worked out together, and pictures snapped during the practice had us thinking, are Are they related? Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Two quarterbacks look eerily
who's Eli?
similar. Which one is Eli? Yeah.
Wow, that is...
The facial expressions, bang on.
Did they just clone Eli? Instead, they didn't draft a quarterback. They cloned Eli, sent him to Duke, and then drafted him. Seems like they could have figured out a better way to get him on the roster, but bottom line is they cloned Eli. Dan, this is a segment I know you're really excited about.
I know. We saw it, Craig Berube, he had a news conference last week, and we noticed something very strange about it. People saw it online, and they sent us pictures. Pit stains or shadows? You tell us what this is. I don't know.
Hey, Pete DeBoer, like a...
Oh, that's the wrong shot there.
No, that's not the right shot. But the DeBoer one really drove the point home. That drove the point home. The bottom line is, the mic was making a shadow.
Yeah.
It was all shadows. Just spoiler alert, it was shadows.
And it would be very strange if you had pit stains in the middle of your chest.
It'd be cool if it'd be like his nipples were leaking.
That's right.
Leaking milk. He was lactating.
I was looking so forward to that. And
Craig Berube was lactating at the media conference. So I hope the baby gets that milk.
Back to the drawing board on that one.
The Jay and Dan podcast comes your way with a brand new episode on the iHeartRadio app. Wherever you get podcasts, Chris Cuthbert is our guest. And don't forget to buy tickets for our live podcast shows out west this fall. We're coming to you.
I don't know how many times this has happened. Worst play of the day is Giannis because of that.
A good form, but
yeah.
At the distance. Highlight of the night going back to Scotiabank Arena. Nowhere near our studios in Scarborough. Kawhi Leonard, great feed from Marcus All on the throwdown over Giannis. So Giannis just not, it's not a great night for Giannis overall on our show. But then again, wasn't a great night for me either, as you'll find out in you blew it.
I blew it at the start of the show, asked if humans can get rabies. I guess you can.
I guess so. So I guess it's settled. You've got rabies.
During the Blues Pack, you called Braden Shen Luke Shen.
I feel really bad about it.
And then they said you blew it during the Stanley Cup schedule board. All the games started at 8 Eastern, including Game 3, but you said that as well.
Yeah, my point was, folks, we're on after every Stanley Cup final game, except for the Saturday game, because we're never on Saturday. That's all I was trying to say.
And we blew it on the pit stains or shadows. We had the wrong shot of Craig Berube. This is the shot where, yeah, right? You can't tell.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is.
It's hard, but there, see, when he moves.
Yeah,
that's the key there.
Again,
because
we needed
every tweet was a still. Every tweet was a still, but yeah, once you see that video.
The idea was there, the execution.
And very quickly, can we see this tweet? Very quickly, John Krasinski says, uh-oh, why? Because Jenna Fisher from The Office, his wife on The Office, is a Blues fan, and Krasinski's a Bruins fan. They might have to get divorced over this.
They got married on that show?
Yeah. They had a kid.
I thought they had just an inter-office romance.
They did, and that led to marriage. As many inter-office romances do.
Why are you pointing at me?
Who knows what'll happen? Right, Glenn? Glenn's married. Glenn's married. So, I tried.
Hey, it's going to be an interesting show on Wednesday.
Why?
This is no NHL, no NBA. It's going to be fun.
Plenty more, though.